What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, back with another Horrific Vision video. This one's gonna be Stormwind. It's basically me, similar to my Orgrimmar video I just posted yesterday. So it's gonna cover combat mechanics, things that people don't understand how mechanics work exactly, or easy ways to get around mechanics in the Vision. I'll be doing this as a 4-mask run, just because that way you can see it with all the madnesses. I actually don't know what the dual madnesses are, because I'm recording this like 30 minutes after reset, so this will be the first run of the week, so we'll see what it is, I guess. Black is bad. Okay. So black is bad, meaning the green is a good one. What buffs do we get? Oh, verse buff. Hell yeah. Start with a cheap shot, or a stun rather. Roll into another stun so he doesn't get any casts off. Interrupt the Psychic Scream. Dead. And Twilight Devastation takes care of the rest. Twilight Devastation OP. I'm gonna kill that elite later since I just picked up that extra sanity potion. Like I said before, you basically just want to make sure that you're under your 200 sanities from your cap before killing an elite, if you have the elite extermination thing, because you don't want to waste sanity. You know, every extra bit helps. Alright, fine, I'll kill you now. You're next to that bomb and I kind of need to get to it. Sorry, Bubby. Hey, it's pretty easy. I mean, just avoid when he jumps and then boom, done. The less you move, the better, obviously, with Hot Foot, because you can actually kind of make it work in your favor to a certain degree if you do that, since you can basically make it where once it starts heating up, the next time you move, it's almost guaranteed to go off, so it can give you a little extra movement speed if you're a slower class. So ideally, the less you have to move on this fight, the better, too. You just shift over a little bit. You want to keep your movements very, very minute, so that way you don't get nearly as much hot foot issues. And if you're melee, you just stand still and you can click both of them away from really easily. So, not bad. Alright. Blade Flourish has a very wide radius, so the chance of you being able to melee her from outside of it's very low. Unless you're outlaw and you have acrobatic strikes, which you should. Alright, nothing interesting. Oh, a target dummy. You can stay there. That's fine. And as you can see in there, if you needed more sanity, there is a fella, that Dodd fella I mentioned in one of my videos. If you kill all of his dancing little hoopties over there, then... Hoopties? I don't think that's the right word. Whatever. Anyways, if you kill him, you get more sanity back because he's an elite, even though he's a rare. So elites count as rares, and vice versa. That was a dumb. You have to wait until the cast finishes for that one, apparently. So, good to know. And much like Gayara, Valera Sanguinar pulls stuff for you too. So, that's always fun. Okay. So Shaw is obviously up on that little hill there. The biggest thing is, as melee, this is very easy. You don't have to have the Eye of Chaos directly behind you. You just have to make sure you're not facing it. And then once he starts doing his little fan of knives crap, you just stand over here, walk away from it. He'll have to run to you, then you loop back around. And once you do that, it's very easy to gate him into how you want him to stand and position him away from the Eyes of Chaos. So this becomes very easy. As a caster, it's a little trickier. So basically, every time he does that, you just run to some random direction. He'll eventually chase after you. And see, even though they're not directly behind me, I'm not facing them. So the eyes will not take your sanity, because they take off a lot of sanity. As you'll see, though, as I mentioned in my other video, this buff up here is open because the one in the Dwarven District wasn't. So there's the crit buff in there. So I got my two favorite ones, which is the crit buff and the verse buff. So that's always nice. As before, if you can land a stun on these burrowing appendages before you even get in combat with them, you can usually kill at least one of them before they even get a chance to come out of the ground. Oh, perfect. So this time we're just going to yeet past these fools. Pull those into the boss, because I want the Gift of the Titans up. And that way I can just do more AoE damage anyways. Boom. Bam. Problem solved. He died so fast I couldn't really tell you any of the mechanics on him, but literally, if you're doing it solo, all you have to do is interrupt the Tormenting Gaze, I think it is. The one that, it takes off sanity. But if you have Gift of the Titans up, it doesn't matter. I mentioned on this guy here, the Slave Master Ulrock fella. When you kill him, literally to do it effectively, if you have a magic immunity, you can just frickin' AMS or Cloak or whatever, his Chains of Servitude, and then boop. So he'll do it. You don't want to get near him, because I think if you run into him and your immunity falls off, it still takes off the sanity. And if you want, so you don't get pulled anywhere, normally you can just use that, any of these things really, this cage or that cart, that little cart there is really good for getting yourself stuck between it, so that way he doesn't pull you into him and you can just stand there and wait it out. Ah, my best friend. Alright, so easily, the best way to do it is if you have a long CC, is to just get rid of the Tinkered Shield bot, and then just nuke him. The rocket dudes, all they do is shoot rockets, and then, they don't do enough damage to really warrant anything important. So, like, he'll repair the toys, but as long as you just cleave off of him onto them, if it fuels your single target, go for it. If it doesn't, just single target him down. And then once he's dead, they have, like, no health, so then you just beat the crap out of these guys. That worked out pretty good, actually. Oh, finally! Got my frickin' toy. Heck yeah. Guess I'll just open with a stun on one and then, kill the other guy. Honestly, if you can afford to, not be an idiot.
Got him!
Such as I am. What you could do is just let the Mind Flays go through, since they don't do too much damage. I mean, they do a bit, but not too crazy. Really, it's the Void Buffets that do more, just because they get a stacking debuff on you. But if you let the Mind Flays go through, then you can DPS them more so they don't do their Psychic Screams as often. This guy. This is the one that other people seem to have troubles with. You just kind of have to sidestep very, very not often, in very small amounts. Like, the less you can do it, the better, and hope a Gift of the Titans procs. But, yeah. Honestly, on higher mask runs, I haven't clicked on a single Void Crystal, or Odd Crystal, because it gives the same amount of mementos every time you do it, regardless of the difficulty level. So it's like, 400 sanity, or, man, I am just all over the place today. 400 mementos for a lot of running around. I'm like, I don't see it worth it. Now, this guy's kind of a nuisance. All you really want to make sure is so you don't get chunked on sanity too hard is to get the entropic missiles. Because getting polymorphed sucks, but also, this is where you would want to make sure you don't run to him too quickly. So if you have an interrupt, you can get it off cooldown. See, now I've just waited a little bit and I have my interrupt back again. And I have for entropic missiles. And if you push him fast enough, he won't even cast the polymorph. Because I believe he phases every, like, 33-ish%. Didn't want to have to use grappling hook for that, but if you have a blink or anything, it gets you out of your, lets you move a little bit from your lead foot, but This is honestly a harder one if you don't have an interrupt at all, which unfortunately most healers don't. So thankfully they give them less health as a healer, but it's still not exactly a fair comparison. Again, you don't have to have it directly behind you or facing directly away from it. You just have to make sure you're not pointing at it, essentially. See, I can be like this, and technically I'm not pointing at it, even though it's like right there. And Void Eruption, even if you cloak it, you don't take the damage, but you still lose the sanity, so I just move. Chains of Servitude, again, just like on that Jailbreaker dude, you can cloak it and she stops casting it. Boop, boop. Get out of here. Yeah, that didn't go very far. Whoopsie. Alright, it's pointing this way. Well, that was lame. It, like, went towards me when I kicked it. That shouldn't happen. Alright, come over here, Illyria. Just gotta hide behind a wall until she runs over here. I don't really want to go over there. And done. Not the cleanest one. The bomb thing was weird. It shouldn't have done that. It went towards me when I kicked it. That's not how kicking something works. Huh. Whatever. Alright. Let's see. We'll finish up the video with a quick little looking at our goodies. And then we'll wrap it up. Not too bad. Honestly, the madnesses this week aren't too terrible. Leadfoot's never pleasant, but it's actually, I think, a little easier to deal with in Stormwind. But... come on. Haste increase from all sources by 6%. Yep, that's what I wear. Yep. Yep. That's definitely what I wear. Oh well, win some, you lose some. I hope the video helps you guys. If there's anything you think I missed, which I didn't grab one of the rares, the Sewer Beastling, I didn't go to him because I didn't need the sanity, but if you did, he's kind of in that same alcove area. I have a video on where all the rares are in the visions. So if you need more sanity, you can always do that. Obviously, always keep an eye out for potions. The potions aren't nearly as hard to find in Stormwind as they are in Orgrimmar, at least in my opinion. And I had better luck finding green sanity potions for once here, way more than in Orgrimmar. I found like 2 in my whole run in Orgrimmar, and I didn't even drink one of them. But yeah, I hope the video helps you out, guys. I'll try to have this up early enough in the day that hopefully you can use it for your first runs for the week, because reset just rolled around. So yeah, that's about it. This is the Red Rogue. I'll see you guys around.